What's the quickest kind of turnaround you've ever been asked to produce a drawing on time team?
I think probably one of the more recent ones, one at Fetla, the most wind-blasted, freezing place I've ever been to.
Where was that?
Fetla in the Shetlands, and I was called by Simon at very short notice to turn up on the hillside, and then he said, draw a Viking raid while we were chatting about it. So I had about 10 minutes to churn out ferocious Vikings.
Have you got quicker working on time? Have you always been quite quick?
I think probably I'm having to work faster on time team than on anything else I've ever done. Yeah, I mean, you can get tight deadlines, but then usually have at least a day to finish things. But on time team, you really have to get on with it, sort of thing.
What any drawings stand out as highlights of the 10 years? If you said pick 2 or 3 drawings, and how many have you done? You've done thousands, have you?
Well, the last batch was about 120 that's got published, but I must have done at least 300 or 400, I should imagine, all in all. Because there are a lot of incidental ones, sort of small ones. You get the big ones where you can spend a bit of time and it's sort of interesting to do. But then you get a lot of little technical ones about, a quick drawing of how part of a building fitted together and things like that, which is very quick. But the Nevis ones I enjoyed very much. It was great. One of the biggest pressures, I think, was on the live program at York. We had to do 3 big colour drawings of 3 different periods in 3 days, and that was pushing it. And they were all very different. One was the Roman, one was the medieval hospital, and the other one was the Viking village. One of which I set on a very high wall, and I kept forgetting where I was. Except when I turned to sharpen the pencil, I saw I'm up on a wall. So
you ever had trouble keeping hold of your bits of paper?
I certainly have. I remember one vividly at Orkney. It was midsummer, absolute blazes blowing away, and one shot off. I think it took about half a mile, and I had to catch it with a rugby tackle on the end of it. Which was great. No. The great thing about working in Scotland is that occasionally the producer comes and pours some whiskey down your throat to revive you. It's a great help. This is a grim but interesting subject. We're looking for what remained the 18th century and 19th century prison, but some of the buildings are still there, and I've just been up to what they refer to as a hanging room. We haven't quite established whether that's right or not, but it's certainly a very creepy place with a big drop under it. And I had a good description from the archaeologists and the specialists about what went on. So I'm doing a drawing of an execution which took place around about 1860, 70. And probably another one, a public one, on the 18th century up on Gallows Hill as well. It's quite grim subjects, but it's very interesting to draw.
Do you start work on drawings before the programme, or do you do it in 3 days as well?
No, I don't do any preparation. It all happens on the site. Yeah, and I end up with about sometimes as many as 5, which is quite good going. I have a vague warning of what we're going to be finding, like sort of what period it is, Roman or Civil War or whatever.
But it can be wrong.
Yeah.
Have you got to be ready for anything?
Pretty well. I mean, you never know what turns up. I mean, so far in Time Team, subjects I did ranged from the Montana documentary, which was dinosaurs, just like that. And at the same time, you could end up high up in Scotland and do something on the Spanish Armada ships, which was, again, a great subject. But you never know what you get thrown into next, which is half the fun, really.